Pope Francis, a voice for peace and justice. Pope Francis has consistently used his position as the leader of the Catholic Church to advocate for peace, justice, and reconciliation in a world often torn by conflict and division. His papacy has been marked by a strong commitment to promoting peace and addressing the root causes of injustice, whether they stem from violence, poverty, or human rights abuses. Pope Francis' call for peace is not just about avoiding war, but about building a world where all people can live in harmony, dignity, and respect. One of the most notable aspects of Pope Francis' advocacy for peace is his emphasis on dialogue and encounter. He has repeatedly called for open, respectful conversations between people of different religions, cultures, and backgrounds. For Pope Francis, peace is not achieved by simply maintaining the status quo, but through active engagement, understanding, and mutual respect. He has sought to create bridges between communities that are often divided by fear, suspicion, and historical conflict. In his efforts to promote peace, Pope Francis has visited regions suffering from conflict, including the Holy Land, South Sudan, and the Central African Republic. These visits have not only been symbolic but have carried a message of hope to those who are living in the midst of war and suffering. During his 2014 visit to the Holy Land, for example, Pope Francis made a historic visit to the separation wall in Bethlehem, praying for peace and calling for an end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His actions speak louder than words, as he uses his papacy to bring attention to the plight of those suffering in conflict zones. Pope Francis also places a strong emphasis on the need for justice in the pursuit of peace. He believes that true peace can only be built on a foundation of justice, where the rights of all people are respected and protected. In his encyclical Fratelli, Tutti, he stresses that peace cannot exist where there is inequality, exploitation, or discrimination. He advocates for a just economic system that serves the common good, where the rich and powerful do not oppress the poor and vulnerable. In addition to addressing global conflicts, Pope Francis has spoken out against social injustices closer to home. He has been a vocal critic of inequality, racism, and the treatment of refugees and migrants. He believes that every human being is entitled to dignity and respect, regardless of their race, nationality, or social status. His message of inclusion and solidarity calls on all people to work together to create a society that values the common good over individual interests. Pope Francis' advocacy for peace and justice also extends to the Church's internal affairs. He has worked to foster a culture of dialogue and transparency within the Vatican, and has taken steps to address issues such as the sexual abuse crisis. By acknowledging the Church's failings and calling for accountability, Pope Francis is working to restore trust and healing, both within the Church and in the wider world. In conclusion, Pope Francis' voice for peace and justice is a powerful reminder of the Gospel's call to love one's neighbor, to work for reconciliation, and to seek a world where justice reigns. His actions and words challenge us all to be peacemakers in our communities, to fight for justice in every area of our lives, and to never lose hope in the possibility of building a more just and peaceful world. Through his leadership, Pope Francis reminds us that peace is not just the absence of war, but the active pursuit of justice and dignity for all people.